witnessing tragedy throughout my career, from deaths, suicides.
Back then, the military didn't recognize PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's a mental health condition that's triggered by a terrifying event.
A constable in his mid-50s worked as a police and OPP officer for 31 years. Over this time, tragic events continuously occurred. Here's his very own story.
Almost having to shoot somebody because they didn't want to put down a knife and a baseball bat when they came out of a house at me, to years ago when somebody managed to get my gun away from me during a fight and tried to shoot me with it, but luckily missed. Part of what people don't realize is there's always more to the story behind somebody with PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder.
Barry Doherty is 51 and married with a daughter. He served in the Canadian Armed Forces for 22 years and has retired from that area of the military. 4 years later, in 2008, Barry began his road to recovery.
In 1986, back then, the military didn't recognize PTSD, and I wasn't diagnosed until 22 years later in 2008, so it kind of changed me from a young, happy lad overnight to like an angry, aging man, if you will. Effects for me would have been things like anger management, road rage, social isolation, family disconnect, nightmares or some form of sleep deprivation, lack of intimacy. There's a stigma that's attached to it.
Linda Reed is the clinical director at the MFRC, the Military Family Resource Center, and also a registered social worker. She has been working with military families and soldiers for many years now, counseling and providing families with the necessary resources.
People are exposed to trauma, traumatic events over and over again over a period of time. That's one of the things that we know would be a condition that would cause PTSD. To understand what post-traumatic stress disorder is, to understand, like many other mental health conditions, that there has been a stigma which has held people back. And so with more and more education within the world, within the communities, on military bases, those kinds of things, can help people come forward.
I had 50 years of tragedy and whatnot in my personal and family life, from a 6-year-old brother drowning to a 21-year-old brother committing suicide, and it's a combination of all those events that slowly build up, and unless you get treated for it, it's like anything else. It gets to a boiling point and then it just explodes.
If they're already aware of what the condition is, just to be very supportive and loving to the family member, because it does help them come along, and I can attest to the fact that I know where I was a decade or more ago compared to today, so I know there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that there is a road to recovery if you choose to take it.